Imagine living in a place where everyone knows your name. The same church bells mark the passing of time. The same fields feed your family. The same faces greet you every morning. You believe evil belongs in stories. Act 1. The world before the shadow. Before fear arrived, there was order. This village lived in rhythms older than memory. Plant, harvest, pray, repeat. The church was not just a building, but certainty itself. The impossible discovery beneath the earth unsettles those who witness it. At first, people react the way people often do. They rationalize, dismiss, avoid, because acknowledging the impossible carries a price. If this cannot be explained, what else might be true? Life resume, or at least, people pretend it does. But unease has entered the village. Not with thunder, not with spectacle, with whispers. Something feels different. Children who once seemed ordinary now carried a darker curiosity. Their laughter sharpened, their rebellion edged with something adults struggled to name. Every era produces figures who embody its fears. Here, that figure emerges in the form of Angel Blake. She is young, confident, and magnetic. Not frightening because she appears monstrous, frightening because she understands people. She recognizes loneliness, restlessness, the desire to belong. She offers what many adults forget, young people crave most. Identity, purpose, recognition. Those drawn toward her are not cartoon villains. They are searching for meaning, for excitement, for escape from expectations they never chose. Influence spreads quietly, not through force, but through intimacy, through shared secrets, through the intoxicating promise that someone finally understands you. That is what makes corruption so dangerous. It rarely announces itself as evil. The adults notice, then hesitate, then deny, because admitting something is wrong means confronting another possibility. Perhaps they failed to understand those closest to them. Perhaps authority no longer guarantees safety. Perhaps tradition cannot answer every question. The village begins dividing itself. Some cling tighter to certainty. Others retreat into silence. Suspicion flourished. Neighbors questioned neighbors. Trust eroded until the horror no longer felt external. It wore familiar faces. He represents duty, responsibility, reason. He refuses surrender. He searches for explanations. Yet even he discovers the limits of certainty. Is this criminal behavior, religious corruption, mass hysteria, something ancient? Each possibility feels inadequate and still. Action becomes necessary because leadership is not certainty. Sometimes leadership is choosing despite uncertainty. He cannot promise understanding, only resistance, only responsibility, only the refusal to abandon what remains of the community. Angel Blake offered belonging. The judge offered resistance. Between them stood a village deciding which voice to follow. As fear deepens, the village undergoes a transformation. People no longer ask, what happened? They ask, who can I trust? Let's view it with NergeeKon's lens. This story emerged during an era of social upheaval. Traditional authority was being questioned. Younger generations challenged inherited values. Cultural norms shifted. Many adults feared they were losing their ability to guide the future. Perhaps the fear beneath this story was not Satan, but uncertainty. Psychology offers another perspective. Social contagion. Beliefs spread. Behaviors spread. Identity spreads. Groups can reinforce actions individuals might never choose alone. Fear amplifies fear. Certainty amplifies certainty. Communities under pressure become vulnerable to narratives promising clarity. Manipulation also thrives during instability. Charismatic figures offer belonging when institutions fail, and people do not join movements because they are foolish. They join because they are human, because they seek meaning, connection, purpose, and perhaps the most extraordinary cruelty requires no supernatural force, only fear, opportunity, and justification. History has demonstrated that repeatedly. Yet reducing everything to psychology strips away another truth. Human beings do not experience life through evidence alone. We experience it through stories, faith, tradition, symbol. Across generations, communities developed language for unseen dangers. Biblical narratives describe temptation not merely as external attack, but as something exploiting weakness and desire. Folklore warned that places remembered, that the land held echoes, that ancient forces lingered where boundaries had been disturbed. Protective rituals emerged. Symbols appeared above doorways. Prayers accompanied uncertainty. These practices were not necessarily proof. They were responses, ways of creating meaning in a world where certainty was scarce. Whether demons are interpreted literally, metaphorically, or somewhere between, their persistence across cultures reveals something profound. Humanity has always needed stories large enough to contain its fears. An ancient evil emerging from beneath the village. Human fear losing the people well loved. Watching innocence disappear. Realizing trust can fracture. Discovering that belonging itself can become dangerous. Existential fear. What if civilization is more fragile than we imagine? What if morality depends upon stories we tell ourselves? What if evil isn't merely something that invades from outside, but a possibility carried within every community? So what really happened? Was an ancient force awakened beneath the earth? Did fear consume a vulnerable community? Did social anxieties transform into folklore and flesh? Perhaps the answer matters less than the questions left behind. Science can illuminate. Psychology can explain. Faith can provide meaning. Folklore can preserve warning. But in the place where all of them overlap, certainty fades. Maybe that's why stories like this endure. Not because they prove monsters exist, but because they remind us that the line between order and chaos, between innocence and corruption, between belief and doubt, is thinner than we would like to admit. Perhaps the real horror was never discovering evil beneath the fields. Perhaps it was realizing how quickly ordinary people can stop recognizing themselves, and perhaps the shadows we fear most are the ones that already know our names. So tell me, when you look into the darkness, what do you think is staring back?